Hello and welcome everyone to information session about Mastering Change Management by Cambridge, University of Cambridge Judge Business School. My name is Rudolf or Rudi Fallad. I'll be your moderator today. So once again, if you were looking for Mastering Change Management information session, you're in the right place. So thank you so much for joining. And before we proceed though, we'd like to know a little bit about yourself. So if you can put that in the chat. You see the chat button. Hopefully everybody's Zoom trained in the last 5 years. You can tell us where you are connecting from. That would be great. And also you should see a Q&A button. So if you have any questions later on, please use that. But for now, if you can tell us in the chat, where are you connecting from? That would be wonderful. So let me see the first answer. Anybody from Cambridge itself? All right, so Warsaw is in the house. Okay, that's first. Okay, and then UK. Okay. All right, I'll wait for a couple of more as we settle in. So where are you connecting from? If you can put that in the chat, so we have a bit of an idea of how international this crowd is. All right, we got UAE in the house, so Abu Dhabi. Okay. All right, so we got Poland, UK, and the Emirates in the house. Anybody else, if you can put that in the chat, that would be great. And today with me, we have faculty that created this program, and they delivered this program. So we got Elizabeth, we got Raja, and maybe they can just say a quick hello for now.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
Hi, I'm Raja.
All right, brilliant. So you will hear from them a lot in a moment. So before we go further, I just wanted to give you a bit of an overview. So this is what we're going to cover today. So first of all, a little bit of an introduction about Cambridge Judge Business School, and then in particular about executive education programs that they have. And then we dive into mastering change management. So we'll give you a bit of an overview, like why are we here, what we see as a potential demand is, who is this for? We're going to give you key takeaways. Elizabeth and Raja will talk about key program highlights. They will also talk about their background, of course, curriculum. As you would expect, this is a business course, so there will be some case studies to do. So there will be a capstone project to do. So Elizabeth and Raja will tell you more about this. I'll come back and talk about your, let's say, tangible outcome, because there will be a digital certificate that you will get if you complete the requirements or fulfill the requirements. And then we'll talk to you about logistics, how to apply, how to get more information if you have more questions. So that would be great. Will be the recording shared? Yes. And also the slides. If you sign up for this, you get the slides and the recording as well. So yes, we are recording this, as you may have seen as well. So Cambridge Judge Business School Executive Education. I bet that you've heard of Cambridge University. I hope you have also heard that they have a business school. It's a top-class business school, judge business school, and part of that is also executive education. So this is for you if you have some years of experience, you are business leaders, you are senior executives, this is for you. On occasion, of course, we also have people who are joining these courses straight from university that can also work, but in general, the programs are targeted at executives. What is Judge Business School known for? Well, I would start with point 2, because we have excellent faculty with us. So this is a world-class faculty you will get. You will get the feel for them today. And it's a top-class university, so that means it's hopefully transformative for your businesses, right? That's the point. And they're focused on enterprise-grade solutions, enterprise change, and it's meant to be practical, actionable outputs or tools that you will get at Judge Business School. So this is what the school is known for, and especially the executive education. So program overview. Why are we here? Well, maybe you've heard that we live in the times of unprecedented change. We live in the times of disruption. Everywhere you go, you have disruption every day. What does that mean for you if you are a business leader? Well, when we did the survey here, or we used the third-party surveys, we found out that 75% of organizations accept expect that they will need to do more of change management programs in the future. Why is that? Because there's so much disruption and change, and organizations need to adapt to that. At the same time, the HR leaders say, close to the same number, 3/4, that the managers are not ready to lead change. Change is not BAU. It is something much more difficult, riskier, and that's why you need to study it and learn from others to not to repeat their mistakes, get insights from faculty like Elizabeth and Raja, so that you can be more successful and increase your odds of success, of course. So how does that look like from day-to-day perspective? Fat finger error there. It's a 6-week program. It's online, only online. But at the same time, we know that you are most likely working, so you are busy professionals. So there is some flexibility built into the program. So what does that mean? It's not virtual online program. In other words, you don't need to be there at certain time online, just like you would be in the classroom. The lectures are pre-recorded, but then they are complemented with live sessions. So it's a mixture of asynchronous and live learning, while all the live sessions are recorded in any case. We don't take attendance, so you don't need to worry about this in case it doesn't fit your schedule. All the live sessions will be recorded anyway. Of course, it's better if you can join and you can participate. You can learn from your classmates as well. That's another thing. It's an executive program, so there will be a lot of people with great experience. And you will see there will be a discussion forum where you can share your experience with your classmates and they can learn from you and vice versa. You can also then connect with them through LinkedIn and maybe and work on a business project together. So it's once again mixture of live and recorded lessons, also live sessions, live support as well, and your classmates' networking opportunities. So key takeaways. Let's hear maybe from Elizabeth. What is this all about? By the end of the program, what will you be able to do?
So the program is designed to do two things. One is to give you all that we as academics and researchers know about change. So the models that we have and the ones that are supported through research. So the evidence that exists on successful organizational change. But the second aspect of the program, or the second big focus that both Raja and myself had as we designed this program, is always thinking about what can you do with this? So if you know the model and you know what research says, what can you do? So all through the program, we encourage you to think about how can you use this to create a model of change or tools for change for yourself in your current setting. So the focus is on translating research and established knowledge into practice in the organization wherever you are. So those are the key takeaways: understanding and action.
All right, wonderful. So who is this program for? I mentioned senior leaders, so executives, so people who run change management programs, or not only, right? They are not necessarily project managers for change management programs of any kind, but there's a lot of change happening in their sphere of influence. And of course, HR leaders as well. I did mention change managers already, but HR leaders as well, who need to gain strategies to develop and retain talent in this ever-changing environment. And of course, consultants and strategists. So you have senior leaders of the business lines, you have change managers, you have HR leaders, you have consultants, strategists as well. In case you don't fall into any of those categories, please drop us a question and we can talk about your case as well. So key program highlights, once again, I did mention that we have cohort-based learning, so maybe let's start from that. So we will release content on a weekly basis. You will be there in a so-called cohort, like a class. This will be senior people, experienced people just like you from all around the world, from the UK and elsewhere. The live sessions also typically happen at the time of the day that suits the most potential time zones ever. But of course, they will definitely work for you if you're in the UK. But they should work for you if you're in Asia as well or in the US. Impactful strategies, the point is that what we talk about here is not meant to be anything super academic. It's meant to be rigorous, precise, but it's meant to be something you can apply back at work. So impactful strategies. When it comes to diversity or the diverse perspective, that's the whole point as well. You have two faculty members there. You might have also a learning facilitator. People will talk about the similar issues, maybe from a different perspective. And that is the point, because there's nothing rigid about managing change in any case, right? And at the same time, we talked about most of you being in some sort of leadership capacity. So we'll talk about leadership techniques, and we'll back it up with research. Again, it's not meant to be research that you can find on Google or you ask ChatGPT, but it's something that you can only find here because the faculty work on that, right? So that's the introduction, and thank you for joining us once again. Let's turn it over to Elizabeth and Raja, hear from them about their background. We'll talk more about curriculum. So Elizabeth, tell us a little bit about how did you get to do what you do today?
So I am an academic and have been for the last 25 years, but I didn't start off as an academic. I started off as a manager, very curious about organizations and working. And so I worked for a number of years before I went back to get a PhD and to study further. But my research has always been in live organizations. I'm interested in how different types of work arrangements are beneficial or not for individuals and organizations. So I've been doing this for many, many years. I teach, all the students that I teach are working professionals like yourselves. So I'm very, very familiar with the interests and challenges that working professionals face. And I enjoyed this aspect of teaching them. That's a population I like. So that's a bit about me.
Wonderful. Raja, go for it.
Yeah, so I have been in academia for about 30 years. Before that, worked in a consulting and training company for the Tatas in India. And I also worked in sales, door-to-door selling. So I have a bit of a background in that kind of work, but mainly for the last many decades, I have been working in academia. But like Elizabeth, my research has been with organizations, and so I have studied and also worked with organizations, and my research output mainly on diversity, but a bunch of other things that you can read on the screen as well, has been with data collected from them and reports fed back to them. So very much connecting with organizations and people who care about these kinds of issues. And this is a fundamental aspect of change. How do we lead people from different parts of the world to actually successful change efforts? People who may not share the same assumptions, share the same knowledge, or share the same processes that work for them. So yeah, it's a good fit with my research as well. And like Elizabeth, I have taught many executive who come to the programs here at the Judge, but also in many other different parts of the world, including Hong Kong, Australia, the US, New Zealand, and in India as well. Right. Thank you.
All right, well, great stuff. And so let's talk about program curriculum. These are the 6 modules. We said it's a 6-week course. One module is 1 week. We release it week by week, not in one go. So let's hear from Elizabeth and Raja a little bit more about what's ahead of you if you take this course.
Okay.
So I'll start. So Module 1 sets up the whole program. So what we try to do in Module 1 is give you a sense of the landscape, what people have said, written, and thought about models of change. And there's quite a lot of them. So we try and help you sort through them to figure out pieces that are useful from different writers and researchers who've written and thought about change. What is different? What do they find useful? And how should we think about leading change in an organization? So Module 1 is really setting the stage for you on this change journey and thinking about change. Raja, do you want to talk about Module 2?
Yeah, so Module 2 is really about, what are the internal power dynamics of the organization. So we start out by talking about, well, what are the bases of power that people use to influence others, and then we talk about how change is about fundamentally, in some level, some people gaining power and some people losing power, and how that affects their interpersonal dynamics and structural changes within the organization. And then we talk about how understanding that can help you to manage the change a little bit more effectively. And I'll talk about Module 3 as well. So this is really about tools for change management, but specifically focusing on networks. If we need to lead a successful change effort, we really need to understand the power of networks, because we don't change anything by ourselves. We need to have a powerful guiding coalition. We need to have networks that work for us. And we need to have networks that are efficient as well as effective. And so we'll talk about, how do you go about, having such a network? What does such a network look like? What are some of the dynamics that we need to be aware of when managing our networks, and how to use networks efficiently and effectively?
Yeah. So in Module 4 and Module 5, we're again looking internally in the organization. Raj, I'll talk more about Module 5, but I want to focus on what we'll do in Module 4. We're looking at the well-being of people within the organization while it is going through change, because the change effort should result in sustained change. So how do you build the capability of the organization and the people in it to sustain that change over time? So in Module 4, we talk a lot about models of well-being, models around the psychological contract, and helping people internally navigate this change to be able to understand it and to keep it going as you move forward. And then Module 5, and Raja will talk more about that, is thinking about it from the larger organizational perspective. So Raja, do you want to dive into Module 5?
So culture is sort of the focus of that module. And first of all, we need to, we talk about what do we mean by culture, and identify the different aspects of it, the more conscious aspects and the less conscious aspects, the aspects of culture that are buried deeper in the organization that we may not realize that they exist until we stumble across them in some form. It's really important to understand culture, because if you're going to change an organization, you really need to understand what it is that you're going to change. Culture acts as a sort of glue for all kinds of routines, processes, interpersonal relationships. And if you're going to channel all of those in a particular direction, you need to understand the overarching culture that kind of holds all that together. Without that, it'll be difficult to mount a successful change effort. Yeah.
And just to add, if you have a cohort with people from different parts of the world or different occupations or industries, you also get that additional dimension in the discussion of these different cultures and how they affect change. So the last module sort of wraps it all, brings it to a close, wraps it all together by saying, okay, how do you evaluate change? What are the metrics that you can use? What are the different ways of thinking about the change initiative? When do you declare success? Do you declare success? What is success? So these bigger questions, and then it gives you an opportunity to think through this for your particular change that is in your organization that you're trying to lead or you're part of. How might you think of success? How might you evaluate the effectiveness of change? And if you need to redirect efforts, what might those be? So we're hoping that through these 6 modules, you sort of get a sense of, how to think about the whole thing, starting from module 1, internal processes of power and networks in modules 2 and 3, 2 and 3, and modules 4 and 5, thinking about how do you sustain change through the people, through the culture of the organization, and then finally in module 6, how do you evaluate this whole thing? How do you change direction if need be, but how do you know where you've reached? How do you assess it?
Okay, well, great stuff. Thank you so much. Also, if you have any questions, once again, don't hesitate, put them in the Q&A. And that's why we have Elizabeth and Raja here, so they can answer any of your questions regarding content also. So let's talk about case studies, right? I did say that this is a very hands-on, practical program. So what are the case studies in the program?
Okay, so I'll talk to the first one. So the Benjamin Millepied, and for those of you who are interested, you can Google him and see his background and his story. But we use his story, which is an excellent example of a change initiative in an organization. And we weave it through multiple modules of this course to illustrate different aspects of change. And the change journey of an individual and an organization. So it's a case that you will encounter multiple times in the course of this in this particular course. And the second case that Raja will talk about takes a different geography, a different industry, but again we use it to illustrate ideas of change. Raja?
Yeah, so as Elizabeth mentioned, we use the cases at different points of time, but primarily this is a case about changing of CEO in a trading company in Hong Kong. And what are the power dynamics associated with it? What are the, what is the fallout when you try to change a CEO? How can it be successfully done and how to not do it? So really about a major change effort in the context of a trading company going for an IPO, and whether this have achieved success or not in that regard. I can also mention that this is a case I love talking about because I wrote the case along with a couple of my colleagues, and it was a very interesting change effort, and we can talk about it more in the sessions if you join the program.
All right, so let's talk about capstone project as well. So that will be at the end of your program, right? That will hopefully lead you to apply everything you've learned and showcase what you have learned. So can you give us a bit of more feel for this? How does that look like? How difficult that can be? How fun it can be?
I'm going to focus on the fun more than the difficulty. So I think the reason is, so I think it's difficult fun, if you want to combine that. It's fun because it allows you to take everything that you've been thinking about, reading, listening to through the 6 modules, and it helps you to build your own plan. So we in this capstone project, we would like you to think about 2 changes that you want to implement in your organization. So you think through what these are, and reflect on everything you've heard about power and networks and culture and the models of change and the processes of change, and take it all and make it your own, make it something that's actionable. So I think that's fun because it's creative, it's something you'll enjoy. Difficult, Raja, would you say it's difficult, or what would you say about this?
Well, it can be first of all fun because you get to reflect on what you're doing, and but I think it can also be difficult because change is inherently a difficult issue. So and there are no easy answers. But I think one of the things that this assessment, this project helps you to do is to surface some of those difficulties, because if you are a passive listener and you have great ideas in your head, that's only part of the journey. I think you're further along in your journey of being a change agent if you can really write it down. And to be when you look at it, what the ideas that you have on paper or on screen in front of you, that's when you are truly grappling with the kind of the ideas in your that we've talked about and how they might apply to the case that you're considering.
I also, Rudy, could I just have a word in there for a second on the capstone
please.
project? I think Anne asked a question of, does this only focus on change from the management's point of view? And the answer is no. You could actually consider the team's point of view as you think about this for your capstone project. So no, it doesn't have to be from the management's point of view. You can take it in whichever direction that you want. And I also want to say one more point in terms of, we emphasize difficulty, but we underemphasize the fact that you get support. So you get support from the facilitator who is there, who's available every week to talk through your ideas. And there are also 2 live sessions that you have with Raja and myself, where we're happy to answer your questions. So you're not left alone. It's not meant to be a struggle in any shape or form.
Yeah, absolutely. So there is a huge army behind the scene as well to help you. So you will have a faculty, you will have a learning facilitator, you will have the program support if you have any admin questions, technical questions. So this is not like watching the videos and let you struggle for 6 weeks on your own. You will have an interaction, you will have support. And I didn't want to say difficult. I was like, how difficult? So from 0 to 10, right? It doesn't assume that it's 10. And then also we have another great question in the chat. How does this course focus on one specific industry? Typically, the courses we do are industry agnostic, but maybe Elizabeth, you want to comment on that?
Yeah, we're industry agnostic too. So as you can see, our cases range from cultural industry, so the ballet, to trading. And we have a guest speaker from a hospital, so CEO of a hospital. We have examples from different industries right through, and the classmates in the program, the cohort mates, will be from different industries. So we're very industry agnostic in the program.
All right. So once again, if you have questions, please put them in the Q&A. But now, Elizabeth, you by the way, you motivated me maybe to finish that TV show about the Paris and New York ballet swap, if you don't know about which one I mean. But there may be an extended reading to your case. Mastering change management, this is how your certificate will look like if you fulfill all the criteria. So it will be a verified digital certificate. So it's not just a PDF, by the way, right? So we obviously assume that your potential employers or your current employer would like to verify that you've done the work. So this is all embedded in this. It's provided by another specialist solution, and this is how it's going to look like. But maybe let's talk a little bit about what you hopefully took away from this session. The point is that this is an in-depth curriculum focusing on change management. It is self-paced, so you can watch the videos whenever it suits you. Some people watch them before work or during lunch or after work or over the weekend. But you also have online interaction with the faculty, with your facilitator, but also with your classmates. And you will get diverse perspectives from various experts. So that's why we said it's industry agnostic. We talk about culture, we talk about trading, healthcare, and we give you tools how to build a resilient and adaptable organization in this world of continuous change. Some people say already for a long time, this is such a phrase, right? That that the only thing that is constant in this world is change. Yet we said that 3/4 of HR executives think that managers are not ready to deal with that. So hopefully you will be in that top 25% after taking this course, right? And we'll talk about other modern complexities, whether it's data-driven decision-making, AI, ESG, digital transformation, because these are specific challenge factors which are related to change management, which, as Raja said, it's difficult to begin with in general, right? And at the end of the day, we want to make this practical for you, so you will practice to how to prepare a detailed change management proposal at your work. So I see questions. Does this corp help with placements? Not directly. So I don't think there is a career advice included here, but our point is that, for instance, when you get the certificate like this, most participants, they share it on LinkedIn. It creates a buzz, right? They tag the faculty, they tag the university, their classmates, they support each other. This is hopefully something that is definitely helpful, right? When you are looking for a new role, when you want to show that you are ready to master change. But there's no guarantee of a job placement. Now, next steps. And once again, still, if you have questions, please use the Q&A button. But if it's clear for you that this is the right program for you, then you can just apply online. So it's on my left side. There's a QR code and the link as well. You will, if you are with us live, you get the same link in the chat in a second. And you can just go ahead and register and take the course. Or if you want to find out more, then on my right side, there's another QR code, and you can click there to find a time to talk to a learning advisor, which means you can have a one-on-one conversation about whether this is the right course for you. So any specific questions you might have, you can have a discussion there. So 2 choices: apply, go ahead, or have a follow-up one-on-one. And the third choice that hopefully applies to you anyway is to follow us on LinkedIn. So that's another option there. Okay. So are the exams for the certificate? So no, the point is that you need to do the case studies. You need to finish the capstone we talked about. Here's the capstone. So, and you need to do certain assignments during the course. You don't need to do 100%, right? Or get 100% of the points. There's a certain minimum. It will be explained during the orientation, but there's no exam, right? So this is an executive program. So don't stress about grades. On the other hand, you need to do some work to get the certificates because, Cambridge would like you to showcase that they taught you something valuable, right? So you need to put in some effort, but there's no exam. Okay, so let me see in the chat. Yes, so I have it in the chat. You can schedule a call with an advisor or you can apply for the program. So the link is there. Or if you are watching this from a recording, you can take out your phone and scan the QR code and it will lead you to the right place as well. In any case, if you can follow us on LinkedIn, that would be great. So let me see if there are any other questions. Yes, okay. Are there any prerequisites for this course or any books, Elizabeth or Raja, anything that people should do or could do before the course?
I would just say if you're ready to take the course, reflect on your experience with change, and then dive in. I don't see any additional prerequisites that are there for the course. It's open. I think if you have an open mind and you want to learn something, you're ready.
Right. So everything you need to know for this topic, go for it.
No, I was just going to say, as you mentioned, Rudy, that there are all kinds of people in the course, and you can definitely learn from one another. Doesn't matter if you're not immediately undertaking change effort, but change is ongoing. So yeah, it's great to have people in the course think from all kinds of arenas.
But you don't need to get any textbooks, any reading lists like in the university. So if you want to feel young again and feel like you're in the university, you can feel young, but not like this, right? So, everything you need to know regarding the content will be on the course website. That's why I'm showing the module overview again. So
Yeah.
everything will be in the videos, plus you will have the summaries at the end of each module. You will have some materials that you can print out, download, and read. But the videos you need to log in and watch while you have the internet. You will have access to the course website for typically 1 year from the start. So you can go and revisit this. But when it comes to any PDFs and things like this, you can download them, print them if you want, etc. So that, of course, there are people who have different learning styles, right? Some people like to watch, other people like to read, or the best thing is probably combine all of this, right? And then the main thing here is not about memorization or repetition, but it's about application. So what we would like you to do is listen to Elizabeth, Raja, the guest speaker, the facilitator, and look back and see how you can apply it to your work circumstances. Anything specific about managing layoffs during the course, Elizabeth?
I think there probably are some things, especially in the unit on in modules 4 and 5 on the psychological contract and culture. There will be insights that you might find useful there. Perhaps in the power one also. So yes, you might find insights in different modules. So it's not one dedicated one talking about that topic.
All right, and of course you will have live sessions, so you can bring up a case from your work. Of course, let's be careful with confidentiality, but we can quickly discuss this during live sessions as well, so to tailor it to your interests. So one last time, you have QR codes in front of you. So either you are clear and you would like to take this course, so just go ahead and apply online. You have the link in the chat as well, or you schedule a follow-up call and you can talk to a learning advisor and they will answer all of your questions, I'm sure, one-on-one. So if you register for this, you have the slides, you have the recording. You can rewatch this again or look at the slides and then maybe schedule a call afterwards if you like. Or in any case, just follow us on LinkedIn for updates because there will be more and more cohorts as well coming up as we speak. So any final questions? So once again, it's an executive course. It's international course. It's flexible in terms of when to watch it and how to consume content, but at the same time, it's not just the videos. You have plenty of interaction online with faculty, with the faculty facilitator. You will have a guest speaker as well, your classmates as well. It's a great opportunity to network. And we hope that you find this useful and you will take this course. But before we go, maybe final words from Elizabeth and Raja. Any final words you would like to say?
Just we hope if you take the course, we hope that you enjoy it. And if you don't, we hope you're successful, whatever it is that you're doing in your current job.
Yeah, I'd echo that. And of course, it would be great to see you online at some point of time. But if not, well, all the best.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for great questions. Thank you, Elizabeth, Raja, for sharing your insights with us. And, we hear about change every day. Sometimes people feel overwhelmed by this. It feels scary. But if you take this course, I hope that with Elizabeth and Raja's insights, you will actually seek out change because you see that this is completely something that you would like to manage, and you can. Just you need to know something more about this. That's all. So thank you so much, and hopefully see you soon.
Thank you.